Alrighty, now we are going to look at assessments. So I'm back on my home screen and I'm going to go back on my taskbar over here and I'm going to go down to assessment/assignment center. Once you have assessments made, they'll show up here in my assessments, but we're going to go ahead and build an assessment for now. So you'll name your assessment. I'm going to name this one sample 1. You'll choose your subject. The one I picked initially is going to be at the top. Once again, you can pick whichever one you want. And then from there on the tags are a good thing to put on if you know that you're going to make assessments that cover the same sort of thing. So for example, if I'm going to do one over reading comprehension, I might add a reading comprehension tag. And then that way it's easy to search and group those like assessments together later. Share assessment just means that it is going to be public for other teachers to see. And then this one, you can allow students to view the item results in detail, so they can either see their scores only, they can see the questions and their scores, or they can see the questions and then the correct answers as well. That's kind of up to you. The display questions in random order, so this is how it will display on student devices. Once you have those settings the way that you want them to, you're going to go ahead and save and continue. And then you're going to get to the question mode, which you either will select the questions or Progress Learning will select the questions. So if Progress Learning selects the questions, your options are kind of limited. It's going to do them from all the domains, from the subject that you picked, and then you just get to pick whether it's a 20 question, 40 question, or 60 question assessment. If you want it to be smaller than that, or you want to hit certain standards, you need to go ahead and select that you will select the questions. So with that, let's go ahead and make an assessment based on this mode that you'll select the questions. So the first thing you're going to do is pick a domain. So if we're going to do reading and writing process, you can click more than one. So we'll do those two. And then same thing with the standards. You can scroll and you can select more than one, just depending on what you're needing. Then you're going to go over to the question type and you can pick whatever question type that you want. So if I just want multiple choice questions, I'll go ahead and select that. And then we'll scroll down and you'll see the question bank. So from here, you can click into each question and look at it. If you decide that this is a good question for you, you can go ahead and add the question to your assessment. And then you'll see the box is checked here. So I'm going to go through and read the ones that seem like that's something that I want and go ahead and add them. And then you'll scroll. Any standard that you picked, there will be a question bank for it. If you want to load more questions, you'll just hit that button at the bottom and look through. The other thing that this does, it gives it by standard and it gives it by the DOK level as well. So let's say that I like these 3 and this one and this one. I'm going to go up to the top and I can see my question count. So at this point, I have a 5 question assessment. If that's the number that I want, I'm going to go ahead and save and preview. And then from there, you'll see the questions and then you can actually view it as a student and see what the kids are going to see. And if I read over this and then I'm like, actually, I don't really like this one, I can hit replace and find a new question. I can remove the question altogether, or I can just continue on and check and make sure that this assessment is what I want it to be. After you've decided that you like this assessment the way it is, you can either save it for later or you can go ahead and save and assign. We're going to go ahead and save and assign, so I'm going to click that. And then you'll see all your classes listed here. This is the class that I set up earlier, so we're going to go ahead and select that one. If I want to do all students, I'll just check the box. If I want to do only certain students, I can do that as well. So if I only want these 5 to take it, I can do that. There's also a little modification that you can do here. So if you want to eliminate one answer for the multiple choice questions, you can do that as well for your students that might need modifications. And then once I've decided that those are the students that I want to take that assessment, I'm going to go ahead and hit save and continue. Then I'm going to be taken to the notes screen. So you can have no notes for your students. You can do text notes to include instructions on what they need to do, or you can do video notes and record yourself giving instructions to those students. So I'm going to go ahead and click no notes and then continue on. And then the last thing that you'll need to do is pick a start and due date and pick a number of attempts. So we're going to start it today. It's going to be due on Friday. It will make you do a start and due date. And then you can either do a number of attempts or you can do a minimum score requirement. So if I think my students need a 75 before they're finished, it's going to do that. If you do the minimum score requirement, it will automatically make you do an unlimited number of attempts. Before you make your final decisions, you can go ahead and preview it one more time if you want to. And then once it is what you want it to be, you go ahead and save the assignment. And then it will pop up on your kids' to-do list for them to do.